Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
When a storm is moving at 50 miles per hour, it's here and then it's gone. Such was the case about an hour ago here in the metro. There was rain with quite a bit of lightning, and now there's word of possibly more trouble out there. Let's get the very latest on what's happening right now and what will be happening the rest of the night. Robert?
Yeah, severe thunderstorm warning continues. In fact, it's been extended for this storm. Now, this severe thunderstorm warning goes until 10:30 p.m. This for southeastern Norman County, southern Monoman County, northern Becker County, and southern Clearwater counties for the possibility of some quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. The storm has even accelerated a little bit now, moving off towards the east and northeast at 55 miles per hour. The strongest part of that storm right near the white earth area where they see the darker reds there. Putting this into motion and adding the lightning, there is some lightning with this storm, not a tremendous amount of lightning, but a considerable amount of lightning with this storm as it moves on and off towards the east and northeast at 55 miles per hour. Again, this warning until 10:30. All the areas in the yellow there, southeastern Norman, southern Monoman, northern Becker, and southern Clearwater counties. This warning goes until 10:30 for that possibility of quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. There are other showers, there are other thunderstorms around the area, but that one warning is the only one we have in the area. And we'll continue to monitor the radar and continue to keep an eye on things. The other big story is the cold air that has made its way on in. We're in the 50s right now, and many locations dropping into the 40s overnight tonight. We'll continue to update you with the severe thunderstorm warning as well as a look at the 7-day forecast, and we'll do that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Robert. And this is a good time to remind you to make sure that you can get the forecast when you need it. And you can do so with the very latest version of the Valley News Live Storm Team weather app. Download the latest version for free so you don't miss important alerts. Just search VNL Weather in your app store.
There are 33 sex offenders within a 5-mile radius of my house. I am absolutely not comfortable with my kids walking to school every day.
Some parents with kids in the West Fargo School District say that they're shocked that certain neighborhoods will not have bus transportation. It's a story we first told you about earlier this month. Following that story, a parent collected hundreds of signatures in an attempt to make a difference. Valley News Team's Katie Opperly joined them at the school board meeting tonight where they presented their frustrations.
I have no way of getting my kids home from school.
Nearly 600 signatures have been gathered in support of increased bus transportation in the Osgood area. Monday marked the first day of classes in West Fargo and forced many parents to find alternatives to get their kids to school.
I also only own one vehicle. It's a minivan. My husband has to take it to work, and so I have no way of driving to the school.
Parents feel their neighborhood should be one of the stops on West Fargo's bus route.
There are a lot of kids that I've found out from families in our area that are also struggling with a way to get to school. They need that transportation. I was told I was going to get it when I registered my kids back in May.
This area is more than a mile walk from school according to Google Maps, and parents are worried about the safety of their children.
Is it not unsafe? I don't want to take that chance.
Stephen DeMarco says he just hopes the board takes their concerns into consideration.
It's a mess, it's confusing, it's last-minute arrangements that a lot of people are having a hard time to make.
And these parents say they're looking for answers.
I know they can't fix the transportation right away. Hopefully they come up with something, to help these parents out.
Katie Opperly, Valley News Live.
The West Fargo School Board said that they will take all of their concerns into consideration, but made no decision tonight. Stick with Valley News Live for updates on this story. School safety has been a hot topic in Fargo for months. State Superintendent of Schools, Kirsten Baszler, came to town in hopes of hearing the community's concerns. While there were a number of different perspectives, one thing everyone agreed on is that there's a mental health crisis in our schools, and lawmakers can help. Valley News Team's Veronica Marshall was at the gathering tonight and joins us live in the studio with more. Veronica?
Mike, with classroom disturbances and attacks on teachers and students rising, there was no doubt amongst the crowd at the school safety forum tonight that more kids are coming to school with more trauma these days. And as of now, schools aren't equipped to properly help them. Whether the problem was protection from school shooters or helping students with special needs, all of the solutions seem to come back to more funding and who could make that happen. And for the first time in this listening session tour, some of those lawmakers actually came out and listened. State representatives urged community members to petition lawmakers for more funding for early intervention and smaller class sizes, or even bulletproof film for windows, which is a solution State Superintendent Basler agrees with.
I think we just need to continue the conversation, the dialogue with our legislators to ensure they know the importance of this issue and that they understand the specific things that they can do when they meet in Bismarck this upcoming winter.
Basler also says it will take everyone's help and resources to confront this problem. And the crowd agreed, with some members saying we're all responsible for helping kids succeed. Mike?
All right, thanks, Veronica. There's going to be another school safety forum. It'll be tomorrow at the Valley City High School starting at 5:30. A former West Fargo school teacher could spend life in prison after pleading guilty to sex-related crimes with students. Shannon Mosier pleaded guilty to 6 of the 8 charges against her this afternoon in Cass County Court. Court documents reveal that there were 6 victims total and that Mosier had sexual contact with 2 of them, one being 15, the other 14. Mosier's bail was increased from $30,000 to $100,000.
Well, she's most certainly sorry for her actions. And the reason she did not post bail was because she knew what she did was wrong. She knows that there's a debt she has to pay to society for what happened here. So she voluntarily chose to stay in on her own will.
2 of the 8 charges against her were dropped. While life in prison would be the most severe sentence, she could get as little as 5 years. No sentencing date was set. As part of our Battle Against Bullying initiative, we have a follow-up to a story out of Valley City. A mom tells us that her 14-year-old daughter is back in school even after being subjected to bullying and racial slurs from several boys over a year. Nikita Shipp says her daughter underwent therapy this summer. She adds that she and her family encouraged the daughter to return to the Valley City Public School District. Superintendent Josh Johnson said one boy was suspended for 4 days earlier this year after he was accused of making racial slurs to Shipp's daughter. Shipp says she's pursuing legal action against 2 boys in the juvenile court system. 3 high-risk sex offenders have moved or will be moving into the area. In Otter County, Minnesota, 28-year-old Gregory Keppers will be moving into the rural Earhart area next week. He has a history of sexual conduct with girls between the ages of 15 and 17. 31-year-old Andrew Cruft is living in the rural Pelican Rapids area. He has a history of sexual contact with girls aged 11 through 14. And in Barnes County, North Dakota, Charles Carrington Jr. is living in Fingal. He was convicted in federal court in 2006 of sexual abuse of a 12-year-old girl. If you have any questions regarding these individuals, you're asked to contact your local law enforcement agency. Police in Fergus Falls are trying to track down a thief that broke into a white Chevy Tahoe parked in a school student parking area. They say earlier this month the thief stole expensive and hard-to-replace medications, including EpiPens. If anyone has information on this or may have witnessed the theft near Kennedy Secondary, contact police at the phone number on your screen, 218-998-8555. A Fargo man's fighting for his life after losing control of his motorcycle over the weekend. It happened north of Amenia Saturday night. Authorities say 37-year-old Stephen Longer was traveling south on Highway 18 when he lost control of the cycle and was thrown from the bike. He was not wearing a helmet. He was also cited for driving under the influence. A group of delivery drivers are upset with their pay, and they took their complaint to tonight's FM Redhawks game. A representative says distributor Johnson Brothers Liquor Company increased wages across the country. But here in Fargo, workers only received half of that increase.
We're out here to engage the public, to hopefully call Johnson Brothers or Surly Brewery to let them know that they're doing business in bad faith.
Earlier today, members were standing outside of local liquor stores. We reached out to Johnson Brothers for comment, have not yet heard back. In Florida, police are trying to determine what caused a championship e-gamer to open fire at a tournament in Jacksonville on Sunday. 2 people were killed, a dozen others suffered gunshot wounds before the gunman took his own life. Authorities say the suspect recently purchased his 2 guns legally from a dealer in Maryland. Reporter Manuel Borjuez has the details from Jacksonville.
Not a tough out today. Excuse me, not an easy out.
The pop of gunfire can be heard on the live stream of Sunday's video game tournament in Jacksonville, Florida. Moments later, the screams of players running for their lives. Jacksonville firefighters were training nearby and jumped into action.
There were people swarming up the road, and one guy was lifting up his shirt saying that he was shot, and you could tell that he was shot in the chest.
It was real people, it was real pain, it was real grief. It is not a video game.
Toshiba Sharon was commentating on the tournament when police say a gamer opened fire.
Just understand that there's people like you and I that are dying out here for no reason.
Gamers Eli Clayton and Taylor Robertson were killed in the shooting. Suhail Lopez's son was shot 3 times.
He's facing the fact that he might not even be able to use his hand ever again is extreme.
The gunman is identified as David Katz, a 24-year-old from Maryland.
I think personally I'm one of the better players, and I like to let my game prove that.
This video shows him after he won a Madden tournament in Buffalo last year. Other players say Katz was well known on the competitive gaming circuit, but not outgoing.
Weird all weekend, man. He had shades on. He didn't speak to anybody.
We want answers. A small group in Jacksonville protested gun violence, and there are already calls for better security at e-gaming tournaments. Manuel Bojorquez, CBS News, Jacksonville, Florida.
Court records show that Katz had been twice hospitalized for mental illness and that he was prescribed antipsychotic and antidepressant medications. In honor and remembrance of U.S. Senator John McCain, the governors of Minnesota and North Dakota have ordered all U.S. and state flags be flown at half-staff. The order is for all state and federal buildings until sunset on the day that Senator McCain's interment on Sunday. Senator McCain passed away at the age of 81 on Saturday. He had been receiving treatment for a malignant brain tumor since its discovery in 2017. Later on Valley News Live at 10, just because it's legal in several states doesn't make it healthy for pregnant women to use.
Showers and storms continue over parts of the area, including one severe storm in northern Minnesota. The latest on that and a look at your 7-day forecast coming up.